Hello, everyone. I just want to say a few words about the Oedipus, King Oedipus, Oedipus the king, Oedipus Tyrannos, Oedipus the tyrant, whatever. It's called different things in different versions. In our translation by the great 20th century poet William Butler Yeats, who didn't know any Greek apparently, but had some help, he calls it King Oedipus. It's a fairly loose translation, I think, but I think it's more readable. I think it's better than most translations. It tells the basic story, which is pretty much all we need. Um, yeah, you'll see that next week when we read the Antigone, I probably have a lot more to say. Whereas the Oedipus is a very famous story, one that we probably already know, but is very mysterious. It's a story of a man and his being crushed, his downfall. And maybe that's the most important thing to keep in mind is that at the beginning of the play, Oedipus is a hero. Oedipus is the king, the tyrant, the leader, the first man of this city, Thebes. And he's universally admired. He has saved the city previously, years before, from a plague, I think by answering the riddle of the Sphinx. And he is a universally admired leader. And this play is about him being, well, I don't know what you say about what happens to Oedipus. Everything that you can imagine and worse happens to Oedipus. He finds out, and I think we know the story. He finds out that he's in the past killed his own father. He finds out that the woman he's married is his mother, so that all his children, his four children, are products of incest. Everything that can possibly go wrong in a person's life goes wrong, and at the end of it, he gouges out his own eyes. That's the story. Of course, there's a lot more detail, the way the story is told, and the drama of it, of Oedipus in the beginning. Play the city of Thebes is under this pestilence. I mean, everything is dying. There's no new life. The crops are failing. The animals are dying. I suppose even the children, the human children, are being born dead. Everybody's pretty much convinced that the gods are not happy. You know, I mean, I don't know if that was the common universal response to public calamity, whether it was just automatic, well, the gods must be unhappy. This is some sort of manifestation of their unhappiness, some kind of punishment. There was a common belief. I think sometimes people still believe it somehow. Um, Natural disasters or uh, bad things happening to human communities as a result of sinfulness or something. But, I don't know. But that seems to be the presumption on the part of everybody involved that if something is going so horribly wrong in Thebes, even if the gods aren't angry, it's good to talk to them. That's why Creon, Oedipus's brother-in-law, is sent to I think, the Delphic Oracle to find out from the gods what they should do. It was just assumed that everything that happens has a kind of a divine origin, and you have to get right with the gods. And the great irony, of course, is the play is that Oedipus assumes this position of finding out what the problem is so he can save the city. And of course, he finds out that he's the problem. He's the pollution. He is the murderer who has gone unpunished all these years, and that he's finished. I mean, it's so grim and so bloody uh, that it's a difficult thing to take. I mean, the murder, the guilt, the arrogance, and then the incest makes it quite a horrible play, actually. I mean, it ends with a man, I think that traditionally, in the way of the stage, you don't actually see him gouge out his eyes, but you see him in the aftermath with the blood all over him and wailing and, completely crushed. I mean, it must have been quite a stunning thing to see in 5th century Greece to see this performed. The horror of it, the mystery of it, the way it calls into question maybe everything, right, about human life. and as you'll see in my study questions, I'm interested in the idea of responsibilities. Terrible things happen. Terrible things are done by this man, but does he know what he's doing, and does that make any difference? In terms of what kind of punishment or responsibility he should take for things that he did unknowingly. I mean, he did kill a guy on the road, but didn't know it was his own father. He did marry this woman, recently widowed queen, did not know it was his own mother. And then he pays the price at the end. I mean, he's crushed. He's brought to be from the highest of the high, he's the lowest of the low. Is it his fault? Should he blame himself? And if he shouldn't blame himself, who should he blame? I mean, all sorts of troubling questions. So yeah, let's just be this one video. I mean, you read the essay, or excuse me, essay, read the play for yourself. I've said in this video probably not just all I have to say about it, but more. So it's something. The Oedipus.